Hello, my friends, and welcome back to your daily dose of delusion. Yep, we've got another batch, so let's get right to it. Let's check it out. Let's do it.
Our spirit is not defeated. We are not defeated. Let's be clear about that.
Okay.
We are strong. We are clear about why we are in this. And because you're here right now, I say, again, thank you, because not only are you clear about all of that, you're willing to put in the hard work. And that work must continue. We cannot let any circumstance or situation or individual ever take away our power.
What power?
To know why we do what we do and our ability to then get that work done.
Okay.
And especially because we know what we stand for, and that's why we know what to fight for. We here believe in the promise of America.
Well, I'm not, okay, so this is a perfect example, I think, why there are so many people on the left that are, especially these low propensity voters, they hear something and then they just, like sheep, just, I don't know, they believe it, like right away without question. And everything that she just said is totally, that's a problem with the Democrats right now. They think they haven't lost. They think they haven't been defeated. But in all reality, they have been. On every count, on every metric, they have failed, and miserably. And until they look into themselves and take that introspection, they're going to be out of power for a long time. So, anyways, let's see what this guy has to say.
Do you want to know what is the best part about being a Democrat? Is watching all those Trump administration picks crash and fucking burn.
Oh, I thought it was going to be because you're oblivious to everyday life.
The only thing I can say is it's time to hang on because the shit show is about ready to go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's a little cringe, but he's got moves.
Just a gentle.
He's got some moves. But yeah, you know, I really do hope that most, if not all of these Trump picks for his cabinet and administration, I hope they get through. I hope they get passed. I hope there's not a single Republican that votes any of these people down. So yeah, I think the crap show that he's talking about is going to be from the left, not from the right, because I hope not, but man, I think like on January 6th, I think there's probably going to be something that goes down that might rival the original January 6th, except if something that does happen like that, they won't be calling it an insurrection. You know, they'll be calling it something completely different. Something heroic and noble, like trying to take back freedom or something like that. Garbage. Anyways.
Reminder that Donald Trump is not a self-made successful businessman. He's a Nepo baby that blew his daddy's money, went bankrupt 6 different times, and has 34 felony conviction counts for falsifying business records. Man is not a successful businessman. He's a con artist, and he played your ass.
The only thing...
Okay, there's nothing that person said that was actually factual. I mean, I'm not a historian buff on Trump, but I think when he first started out in business, because his father was a successful real estate guy, and I think his dad gave him I think it was like $1 million. I mean, which is, that's a great start, right? For anybody, believe me. So, I mean, you know, I can see kind of what she was saying, but, you know, he took that, I think it was $1 million. I could be wrong, but whatever he took, which I guess in the grand scheme of things wasn't a whole lot of money for his family. But he took that money and he just ballooned it up to whatever it was, billions of dollars, right? And yes, he did go bankrupt a few times, but you'll learn from your successes, or I should say, you learn from your from your failures, and then you that's how you grow your successes, right? So, anyways, it's not a bad thing that Trump went bankrupt, and he's not a felon. They keep on repeating this schlock or whatever you want to call it. It's garbage and it's not true, but they just keep on pumping it out, hoping, again, the low propensity voter will catch on to that and be like, oh, yes, he was convicted of all that garbage.
The thing that Trump winning proved was how many uneducated, angry, miserable, hateful people there are in this country. I know for myself, I wake up every morning with a sense of peace in my soul and knowing that I have self-respect because I did not vote for him. And that means a lot.
But everybody else go to hell. So much joy on the Democratic side, I tell you. She's a prime example of this, right?
And I know I'm not the only one.
Of course. Don't need to get my anger out. So she makes a Trump voodoo doll? Jeez, that's creepy. Real classy.
Give Trump a chance?
Yeah.
You never gave Biden a chance.
Actually, I think most civil-minded Americans, regardless of, obviously if they're on the Democrat side, they give him a chance. But I think most people nobody wants to see the country fail. That's just the reality of it, right? So, yeah, was I happy he became president? No. Were you happy he became president? Probably not if you're watching this video. But we didn't want him to fail because that means America fails, right? So this lady's whole argument is shot right from the beginning.
Why should I ever look past what Trump did on January 6th?
Oh, gosh.
Never.
I want to just leave this short. It's 4 minutes. We'll do this before 5. Guys, don't forget. It's we the people.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
We have executive order coming out, 13848, right? It's going to be implemented. It's been out. Donald Trump helped create it. And it's going to come back to bite him in the ass because what it does is it says how we have to proceed when we realize that there has been outside interference in our elections.
And what outside
There definitely has been.
What? What?
They're going to reveal that on the 20th of December.
Who's going to reveal this? Who's going to reveal this ground-shaking, breathtaking information that's just going to totally upend the election? Who? Nobody. It's not. I don't know what this guy's talking about.
Because 45 days from November 6th brings us to December 20th, which is 6 days from today. So this coming Friday. So have a great weekend.
A few days
do your
away.
Laundry.
Yeah.
Hang your stuff out if you can. Change your sheets to your bed. Go grocery shopping. Get everything set up. Go to church tomorrow or don't. Pray at home. Hold hands. Love the ones you're with. Be good to yourselves. And let's get our country back, right? Next week, the Friday, I have a feeling Executive Order 13848 will be implemented. And if not, a month from then,
of course
December
not.
20th to January 20th, the day of the inauguration, we, the people, are going to have to show up in Washington and have this guy step down. The 3% rule states that if you have 3% of a group of people's population, 3% of a particular population, if they gather in mass, they can change everything.
What?
So we have 330 million Americans.
Right.
10% of that is 33 million.
Sure.
And what's a third of that? 11 million. 11 million of us have to show up on Washington, D.C. on January 20th and have this guy step down. He'll see 11 million people. Talk about a crowd. He'll have a coronary and he'll have to step down. We got to do it. And we can't depend on the people out west. God bless. But for those of us here in New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, Long Island, Connecticut, right? everybody, we got to converge on Washington. Black, white, trans, LGBTQ, drag queens, peacefully, cohesively.
Right.
We're going to meet and have this guy step down on January 20th. That's our fail-safe. And
note.
Yeah, this guy, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he is a fool if he thinks that's going to happen. And even if a tenth of that shows up, it is not going to end up being peaceful. Not when the left get together, because they love to riot at the drop of a hat. You know what I mean?
This news just coming in. According to law enforcement officials, the shooter was a female student. And Steve, that seems rather rare.
So rare. I mean, not to make light of this situation, because anytime there's a school shooting, it's a horrible thing. But I saw somewhere someone said that after this aired, that they would be expecting not a manifesto, but a tranifesto. A tranifesto. So and it's funny because it's play on words, but I think probably, and I don't know, maybe I'm totally wrong, but I have a feeling that since this person is being identified as a woman, probably started out as a man, I would imagine. Because yeah, I mean, biological woman, this would be so super rare. Like, I don't even know if it's happened in the history of our country, at least. So anyways, I wouldn't be surprised if in the coming days or weeks we find out that, oops, yeah, she was actually, or he was a trans. And that would explain everything of why this happened. And it was at a Christian school, so... if a duck is a duck, if it looks like a duck, it walks like a duck, right? It's probably a guy transitioning. I don't know. Okay.
It's quite unusual. Males are predominant. I'm searching my mind to see whether I've ever heard of a female shooter in a school shooting, and so this is amazing. But I will say that while students of concern committees and things like that are important, we also learned that if you can delay the shooter 3 to 4 minutes at the most, you can usually interdict the shooter. So we can't just say a student of concern committee or a similar thing is going to solve the problem itself, absent some kind of hardening, because as we've seen so many times, people are reluctant to talk about things. And then you get something like this where a female student comes in and you wouldn't have even put two eyes on the situation beforehand.
What pisses me off is the discourse around how women only go for the top 15% of men.
And why is this so upsetting?
Like, am I supposed to be going for the fat loser who doesn't have a job and lives at home? Am I supposed to be attracted to that?
Is that me?
This is certainly starting out well.
I don't think
Obviously,
so.
I'm going to be attracted to the guy who's ambitious, the guy who's manly, the guy who takes care of himself and his health and works out, the guy who's tall, the guy who's going to give my kids good genetics. Why on earth would I be attracted to the fat loser?
This might come as a complete shock, but if a guy isn't in the top 15% of men, that automatically doesn't make him a fat loser.
And why would I be attracted to someone that's a total wench? Like, she might be rather pretty on the outside. I mean, come on. But she's definitely not very pretty on the inside. And that's really what counts, because everybody gets old. Everybody loses, nobody stays in great shape their whole entire life. There's very few people. I mean, even if, whatever. Yeah, so, come on, lady. I like this lady. She's on ball. She's thumbs up.
My goodness, I really do not have high hopes of one's dating chances after this.
True.
And an average guy, like, why, if I could pick the best of the best, why would I be attracted to the mid-tier?
Well, it's entirely possible that someone might not be able to get the best of the best.
Hello?
Ever consider that?
Yeah.
Especially if I'm a top quality girl.
Now, I'm not saying they're right and I'm not saying they're wrong. However, I will say this. It is a good thing when a person has confidence, isn't it?
If I was
True.
fat and ugly, I would not be surprised that men are not going for me and instead they want the girls who are fit and beautiful.
Being considered undesirable isn't always just about the way someone looks.
Like, I didn't earn to be on their level. I didn't earn to be wanted like that.
But a lot of those guys also want a woman with a good personality.
Yes. So maybe instead of complaining that women only want the top 15%, work on becoming top 15% or somewhere near that number, instead of sitting at home being a loser, trying to be a little victim.
Personality certainly goes a long way in determining how attractive someone is.
And when that lady is, still single at 45, we'll see how top shelf she's trying to get with her pick.
I'm getting railed by number 600 today. I'm so excited.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
I'm finally hitting my goal for the year of getting railed by 600 people in 1 year.
Wait, she's saying what I think she's saying? She's getting railed? Like being with a guy? Is that what she's saying? I'm pretty sure that's what she's saying. That's horrible. That is so horrible. To be with 600 men in 1 year? I mean, be with 600 men in a lifetime is pretty gross. But in 1 year, that's absolutely yuck. Why would any man want her in the future? I mean, nobody. I don't care what she looks like.
And we still have 6 weeks left of the year. So I'm doing pretty well. I'm going to keep going, though. I'm not stopping. I'm going to see how far I can get. And yeah, I'll let you know when I hit 600, but it's going to be today.
Do you guys...
Yay, feminism. Yay, it's my body, my choice. I can sleep with as many men as I want. But don't you dare look at me as a sexual object, okay? That's a no-go. But I'll totally sleep with as many people as I want. But don't you dare do it. Woohoo. Jeez Louise. I don't understand what's wrong with this generation, the people these days, you know?
Believe that there's more than two genders?
It's tricky.
It's a great question.
Yeah, I think it's up to the individual.
Really?
Yeah.
What about you?
I think it's a complicated topic. I'm not educated enough to have probably a serious opinion on the matter, but I agree. I think it's up to the individual. I think it's more than the traditional male-female. Obviously...
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a hard one. We're not
I
prepared
wasn't
for
expecting
this.
that. All right.
It's such a good question, though.
Yeah, well, that's the reason for
question.
it. Like, I've met people who believe either way.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm not the hard male-female. I mean, it's kind of what you feel inside as well, more than the physical. So it's a different world we live in these days.
Well.
It's not as clean cut as it used to be.
Yeah, I think it's not black and white.
It's hard for me to say.
Yeah, I think unless it's impacting others negatively, I think it shouldn't be anybody else's business.
It's not hard. There's two. There's man and there's woman. And it's kind of sad because I think what's happening is he's kind of, whipped a little bit maybe. I would suspect he probably is leaning more towards that there's only a man and a woman. But he doesn't want to say that in front of her because she obviously is bought into the brainwashing, and he doesn't want to jeopardize that relationship or whatever he's got going on with that lady. But yeah, I'll say it on the record, two, man and woman, okay? Send your hate mail if you want. I don't care. Leave your comments down below.
The age of men is over. The time of the woman has come.
Nice.
I'm overweight. Of course I eat more calories in the morning than other people do in the entire day. I'm overweight. Of course I'm a VIP member at every restaurant, but not at a gym. I'm overweight, but I'm not alone. Every second American is.
All I want for Christmas.
Every second American is. I think the obesity rate is very high in America, and actually the morbid obesity rate is too high. Like I mentioned in the other video, I've lost about 50 pounds, a little over 50 pounds now. And I think I feel a lot better, but I think technically I'm definitely still obese on the official chart. I was morbidly obese, which was just psychologically devastating when the doctor told me that. I was like, really? Like, because I didn't think I was that fat. But yeah, it is definitely a problem. And this whole subculture of, you know, where you fat shame, like if you fat shame somebody, that's like really bad, and that you should be proud of being overweight. Well, you know what? Overweight sucks. Okay. I would much rather be down to, you know, 160, 165 or whatever, down to my ideal weight. I am not that, and I may never probably get to that weight again, and that's fine. But yeah, I mean, my weight has caused me a lot of problems now in my life, and it sucks. It does. It totally sucks, and it's something that if I would have maybe taken it a little bit more seriously and you know, realized that, hey, this lifestyle that I'm living, there are consequences, and it's at some point, it's, you know, the check is going to be cashed, and yeah, well, the check got cashed. So I'm just, you know, everybody out there, if you can, try to take more control over your, and it's not just don't eat, don't take in calories. It's like a whole kind of lifestyle change. You need to be a little bit more active. Obviously, eat a little bit less, but you know, it's something we can all do. It's just so easy to get stuck. You know, a lot of people are stuck behind a desk, and then there's no real activities to do. Not like when you're younger, like just go outside and play ball with your friends or whatever. You just don't do that when you're older. So anyways, enough of my soapbox. Let's get back to it. See what this lovely young lady. Oh boy. Okay, divorce. Here we go.
This is for you to divorce your husband and leave your boyfriend.
Oh, great.
That's right. Just a reminder, it's okay to dump your boyfriend. Yes, it is. Especially if he's a piece of shit.
Oh, boy.
Even if he's not a piece of shit. I think you should analyze all of his actions, and if you're not feeling it, you've asked him to go to therapy, and you've tried your hardest and shown him the love languages that work for you, and given him a list of gifts that would make you happy, and asked him to take you on dates and everything else. If he isn't living up to the expectations of what he put in front of you in the first few months of dating, which was his best behavior or his customer service representative type behavior, it's okay to break up with him. Yes, even at Christmas time. I give you permission. And ladies that are married, I give you permission to start the divorce proceedings. Yep. Serve him papers for Christmas. That's right. You should serve him divorce papers for Christmas. Happy holidays. Mwah.
First of all, I mean, who gives you the authority to give permission for anything? Second of all, that is super horrible, mean, cruel advice to give to somebody, whether they're living up to your standards or not. Divorce them? Come on, that's horrible. And I guess it's like, you know, they say misery loves company, right? Because you're probably, I would imagine you're probably not in a relationship right now, at least not with a guy. And even if you're with another lady, you know, I just in another video, the divorce rate for women married is like 75%. So yeah. Anyways, you seem like a very bitter lady. So horrible advice. Don't take it, ladies. Don't do it. Just love your man. We're simple creatures. It doesn't take a lot to make us happy.
Have a great night.
Oh, liberals are so emotional. You're right, you unempathetic, empty-skulled buffoon. You're right, we are emotional. I'm sorry that it does not fill you with unfathomable rage that you could work for $2,000 an hour, 40 hours a week since Jesus supposedly fucking died, and you would still only have 2% of what Elon Musk has. I'm sorry that it doesn't fill you with rage that children go to school where they should learn and have opportunities in life, and they get fucking shot. I'm sorry that none of that makes you feel anything. Because to me, all that says is you don't feel shit. No, nothing in your life makes you happy or sad or anything. And it's not about hate or vitriol from me anymore.
Yeah, it is.
All I do is fucking pity you people.
Right.
Because what you've done is you've made this bed and now you're going to sleep in it. And it was all for the sake of hating people with slightly different skin color than you.
Right.
Or hating people who decide they want to lead their life in a different way than you would lead yours. It's fucking despicable.
So, you know, it's funny because like he talks about empathy, right? But the only empathy you will show is for people that think exactly like you. And that's not true empathy. You know, empathy and compassion is loving unconditionally. And that's not what you were just spewing from your mouth. That was hate and vitriol, like you said, right? So it's kind of ironic that and hypocritical for him to talk about us not having empathy when he doesn't have empathy for half the country, you know? So
I was explaining to a friend that for most people, if you are a man or consider yourself male in any way, and you date a trans girl, that's a straight relationship. Like, that's heterosexuality.
No, that is totally not. That would be, that would make you, I'm a man, and if I dated a trans girl, that would make me gay. At the very least, that would make me bisexual, I guess, but it wouldn't make me heterosexual. I would be jumping the curb on that one. So no, you were totally wrong, in my opinion. That that person is totally wrong. Sorry.
Do you say like, people become trans like since they're young, or is it like at a certain age?
It's in utero. So in the first trimester, sex develops. Second trimester, gender identity forms.
So they're born that way?
It's a biological fixed trait.
Okay. So you're pro-life?
Nope, I am pro-choice.
Even if they wanted to abort them because they were trans?
I think that's disgusting.
Gotcha, bitch! But you're pro-choice.
I am pro-choice, but you wouldn't know like that you would be able to like tell while they're in the womb that they're trans. That's not something that they've done.
I thought that's
yet.
what you just said.
No, so they've been able to figure out that gender identity is formed in the brain, but what you're engaging in is really disgusting. Saying that you would like abort someone specifically because they're trans, that's a disgusting argument. You're a disgusting individual. That's what you believe.
Isn't that what pro-choice is about though? Isn't the idea of being pro-choice making whatever decision you want?
We're not doing this.
Shut up.
This isn't.
Yeah, that's totally what he's just said. He said that that thought or whatever gets formed in the brain, in the uterus, at whatever many months he said. But then he just contradicted himself in the argument. So, yeah, jeez. These people are ridiculous.
Just about food.
No, it's not.
This is sometimes people are born genetically larger.
Agreed.
That's, you said.
Because I'm fat because I'm big boned. that doesn't work.
Setting folks up for shame. Maybe you don't know you're doing. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because I weighed close to 300.
Yeah.
And without the majority.
I weighed a little over 300 at my highest, like 311. So yeah, I'm with you, Whoopi. I'm with you.
Tomorrow, this would not have happened.
There you go. Take it off. Take it
There you go. Listen, this worked for me. This may work for y'all because if we can keep people healthy, what's wrong with trying to do that?
Well, Whoopi, you help obese people become healthy by being honest about these issues, like with the cheering here. I think we should applaud people for their efforts in losing weight. Because cheering for someone who takes a shortcut with pharmaceutical drugs not only undermines these principles, but sends a damaging message, to be honest with you. And there are studies on this showing that people on these drugs lose about 21% of their weight, and then within a year of stopping, they gain half of the weight they lost. Yeah. And guess what? The regain happens because they don't make the necessary life changes. Yeah. I don't know, like cutting back on the gobbling down and taking a few more steps. So it is mostly about food. Over 40% of American adults are obese. 40%. Wow. You cannot sugarcoat that with, well, sometimes it's genetic. They will literally eat the sugar coat.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, what this guy is saying, I think is true. Like, okay, so like I said, I was definitely, I'm still overweight technically, but I started taking Manjaro as well, which has definitely helped in my weight loss. But I'm taking it primarily for my A1C because it's high, and it needs to get a lot lower. One of the side effects of Manjaro is weight loss, and I'm not poo-hooing that. That's cool. But the thing that I started doing actually right before I started taking Manjaro is I started doing intermittent fasting, and that has helped, I think, a lot. I think it's actually amplified, excuse me, the weight loss a little bit. And like you said, yeah, it's the lifestyle change, because I can't take Manjaro. I think it's like 6 months or something, and then you have to have a break. Excuse me. Then you have to have the break before you can get back on it. Anyways, but he's right. If you don't change your lifestyle, then most people are going to gain a lot of that weight back. But like, since I'm doing intermittent fasting before I started taking it, and I plan on doing it probably for the rest of my life, that's a huge thing, and it helps balance out everything. It allows your body to heal a little bit. It goes into ketosis or something. It's a big complicated thing. I don't want to get into it here, but what he has to say here is valid, and I love how he puts himself. Splices himself into these conversations, so it looks like he's there on the set with the ladies, and then they just have these dumbfounded reactions, which they would never have if he was actually there saying all this stuff, because they would just freak out. But these videos are hysterical.
I am the mom of somebody who has been transitioning for the last 10 years. Skylar was always messy.
Messy.
The first thing that Skylar said was, I'm gender fluid.
Huh?
Right. Where did he hear that from? Right? From school. Probably from some counselor, some stupid pink-haired teacher that started talking about all this stuff that shouldn't be talked about in grade school. And then it plants the idea in his head, and then he thinks that he needs to be a woman now or something.
And the testosterone is a really momentous occasion. It's the start of a journey I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I'm really nervous about it.
That's a horrible t-shirt.
You can't stop this person from being who they are. And what right do you have to do that? I'd never seen Skylar look at themselves like that.
What?
It's Marcella, and my pronouns are she, her. I'm 25 years old. It's definitely quite scary. Puberty blockers are being under attack, and it has lives at stake, especially for younger trans children.
Right.
It's something that I wish was an option.
Lives are literally at stake because puberty blockers are like in question now. Right. What did we do for all of the history of mankind before that?
For me, earlier during my life, but I transitioned later on, so it's never been an option. And I think it's very important for us to make some noise about legislation that's being used to harm.
Okay, if y'all hate women that much, I hope you never get pussy ever again.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice. That's so charming.
Y'all hate us this fucking much.
Yeah. I don't hate you, but those are crazy
Okay, you better
eyes.
not come into my fucking oh, you just sent pics, da. Yeah. Pics of a gun I'm finna buy.
What? The fuck? Are you speaking in tongues? What are you doing? What's happening?
I asked men in Russia and in America if they would 100% financially support their woman.
Number one, why would I? But what is she doing while I'm working?
Raising your kids? I don't know, maybe?
It's kind of like each relationship now is a 50-50.
то, наверное, да. Вот, потому что все-таки я беру ответственность за человека.
Nah, she has to provide for herself. She's an adult.
Конечно, если жена, это семья, это дети, и, конечно, в идеале, чтобы она уделяла 100% времени воспитанию.
Well, I mean, I would want it to be 50-50. Хочется самореализовываться, ей приятно находиться на моем содержании, почему нет, я могу себе это позволить.
You know, that's weird. Like my dad's generation, it was, I go to work, I take care of the family. Ideally, it's a one-income family, and you're paid enough to be able to take care of the whole family, and the mother can stay home and focus on raising the kids. And in the ideal world, that's how it is. That unfortunately, that's not how it is now. But it is kind of amazing, the contrast. You know, I think, I don't know if it's like the feminization of the men in this country over the last few years. Maybe it's gone back longer than that. I'm not sure. But then you contrast that to the guys in Russia, and they're all like, yeah, I'm the man. I'm taking care of my woman. There's no doubt about it. So maybe they're doing something right over there in Russia. Maybe they're not the evil boogeyman bad guys that the media says they are, you know?
This post is not to make me money.
Yeah.
Because it won't be long enough to do that.
Okay.
This post is to remind you
that
Donald Trump is the felon-elect. He is a felon.
Oh, gosh.
You don't have to be sentenced to be a felon. You have to be convicted. And he was 34 times by a jury of his peers.
They'll never let this go.
If you voted for him, you have very questionable decision-making skills.
Right. Thanks. Right. If you voted for him, you obviously see what is on the horizon, and that horizon involves a lot of socialistic, communistic rule. You know what I mean? The country was not on the right path for sure. And I hope that Donald Trump can help rectify some of this, and then if we can keep that MAGA train going for the next few cycles of presidencies, the country will be much better off for it. So anyways, hey, listen, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please consider subscribing and leaving comments down below. You know, you could also, if you want to like and share the video, sharing would be huge to help grow the channel and spread, you know, the good vibes that we're trying to do here. We're not trying to hate on people. We're just trying to show, like, hey, maybe some parts of the country need a little bit of love. I don't know. Okay, well, until next video, stay safe and know that you are loved and you are appreciated. All right, have a great day. Bye.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear.